Statistics say that 75% of users have their cookies turned off. So when you're designing sites, you need to design them for the case that the user has cookies turned off and if they have them turned on. And here's how you do it. Here's the code that we built up so far. We see that it's keeping track via cookies of what visit we're on. And what I'm going to do here is just put this in a big if statement. Client accepts cookies. So if the client accepts the cookies or can accept cookies, then we will track the visits. If not, we'll just say something like, welcome to this site. So now we need to determine this variable. How are we going to do that? There are a number of ways to do that, some with JavaScript, etc. But let me show you a little trick that works where you can do all on one page, no JavaScript, very easy. What we want to do is get a variable that's coming in on the URL as a parameter called test complete. That's what we'll be sending. So if this is not equal to true, that means if we're coming in for the first time, first hit, then we need to send the user back to this page with that parameter set. Let me show you how that works. But first of all, we need to set a cookie so that when we come back, we can read to see if the cookie was set. If the cookie was set, then we know that the client can set cookies. So let me put a time of, let's just do it a week again. 60 seconds times 60 minutes times 24 hours times 7 days. Okay, so that's the cookie. The cookie sets a check code, which is 123. We need a comma here. Okay. Now we're going to send the user back to this page. Location, cookies, 1. That's the name of this page, PHP, and send test complete equals true. That's what we're testing here. So the second time through, it's going to be true. And the check code is 123. So that's the code to check because that's what we set it to. So now we come through once. Test complete is not true since we just went to cookies here with no parameters. So test complete does not equal true. It sets a cookie, if it can, tries to set a cookie. Then it goes back to this page with test complete equals true and check code 123. Because test complete equals true now, we are in here and we want to read the cookie and see if it equals 123. If it does, we know that it can set cookies. If it doesn't, we know that it can't. And that's how we're going to determine this variable that we want to set. Client accepts cookies equals true because check code is 23. Otherwise, sorry, client does not accept cookies. It's false, so that should work. Simple code, but it allows you to be flexible when you're programming. So now we could go to the site and say, yes, cookies are set, so it counts my visits and is very user-friendly. But if the user turns off their cookies, options, accept cookies, I'm going to go in here this time, make sure it's not set to allow. Okay, accept cookies from sites, no. Now, we just get welcome to the site, which is a nice greeting. Our site works, it just doesn't have the cookie ability. And so the user without cookies still has a nice experience on our site, and the users with cookies have an even nicer experience on our site. And you can accomplish that with this simple code.